Hello, viewers, and welcome to another episode of Reminiscences. Today, our guest is Alhaji Bello Muhammed Kirfi, the Wazir in Bauchi, a veteran civil servant that worked from the first regional government to the northeast government of Nigeria, to Bauchi State, present day, and with stints in the federal service as minister twice in the government of Alhaji Shagari in the 80s and the government of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo in the 90s. Wazir, I'd like to thank you for granting us this opportunity to speak to you.
Very good.
And I'd like to start by asking you, did life for you begin in Kirfi? Because your name always goes with that, or is it in Bauchi?
In Bauchi. Yes, I was born in Bauchi. My parent, or rather my uncle, was the district head of Kirfi. And when coming to Bauchi, when he retired from the district headship, he came to Bauchi. He's a well-learned man,
Yep.
well-learned. And he was liked by the Europeans, particularly the district officers, because he used to finish his collection of tax, cattle tax, and I mean jungly and the normal tax, you know.
Yes.
It was the main source of income
Yes.
of the government, the native authority.
Yes.
So he came to Bauchi in 18 something
Yes.
with my father
Right.
as a young man, and then he got them admitted into a technical school with one European. They were taught Hausa, not English, this in Hausa,
Yes.
and this in 18 something.
Yes.
And by the will of God, he was married to my mother from Kirfi also.
Yes.
But he grew in Bauchi as a young man. Yes.
Where did you school yourself?
I schooled in Bauchi Elementary School. I was born in 1933 because I got the report from my father.
Who could write?
Yes, he could write. And then he was working in Bauchi Middle School. And I got the date of my birth from him. So I continued until 1941 when I was admitted into Kobe Primary School in Bauchi. Elementary school at that time. They were called the elementary school. I spent 4 years there, and they moved Bauchi Middle School in 1945. At that time, the teachers in that school were people like Yahya Guso, Aminu Kano, Ibrahim Willard from Maiduguri, Usman Jaafar from Maiduguri, and one Mohammed Dungus from Maiduguri, Iro from Katina, and another person from Sokoto. They were the teachers in the middle school.
Bauchi.
In Bauchi. And we had some like Abubakar Tafa of Balewa.
He was your teacher?
He was a teacher in that school. He went to London for a number of months, and then he came back, became assistant education officer. He was our English teacher in Bauchi school. I was in class 2 when he went to London, and then came back to be promoted to the rank of assistant education officer. So from that time, started politics and other things, and became all this thing. I could still remember in those days, I will say that politics started in Bauchi. Yes, in the north.
Yes.
Definitely. And there was a sort of Saad Zungur, you might have heard about him.
Yes.
Saad Zungur,
Yes.
well known, highly educated. I have never read or see somebody intelligent in English and in Arabic.
Was he a teacher also in that
no,
time?
No, he was not a teacher. Yes, his father was a highly Islamic teacher. And I don't know how he learned English the way. If you see his writing, I pray that I didn't have any extra book, but I will try to see that if I can borrow one even for you, Saad Zungu, written by the present chairman of INEC. That is
Okay. Yes.
Saad Zungu. You heard about it.
Yes.
Yes, you'll be very much impressed. I'll borrow one and give you to read because I don't have any spare.
But between here and Tafawa Balewa, Tafawa Balewa also reputed
Yes.
the golden voice.
The golden voice.
Yes.
But Saad Zungu did not get this opportunity. It's too critical to British rule, and he had been disagreeing with them on many occasions. Even there was, he doesn't like the Europeans. He's always calling them all the names. And even when I was a junior clerk in 1952 in the NA Works, after returning from Zaria, when I completed middle school in 1950, I was admitted. I was sent to be a clerk, a school called Clerical Training School in Zaria. At that time, students were being brought from the 12 provinces. There were 12 provinces in the north. And the allocation used to be made 3 or 4 from each province. So we were being taught clerical work, accounting, typing, and all sorts of clerical work in that school. So after finishing in 1951, I completed training in 1952. Came back to serve as a clerk in the Native Authority workshop. That workshop is being maintained by Bauchi State government, but the vehicles, the carpenters, the masons, and all these were all working in that workshop, but owned by Bauchi State. Some federal government staff were there, regional government staff were also working there. It was a very big institution. Actually, I will tell you that I started working there before getting admission to the clerical college in Zaria. I started as a timekeeper at Sule there, the CC. A day.
That was the salary.
Salary.
One shilling and a half.
And a half. A day.
When did you begin to work for the Northern Regional Service from the Bauchi Native Authority?
Yes, when I came back to Bauchi Local Authority in 1952, I continued to work until 1955. 1955, we got admission into Institute of Administration, Zaria. And they taught us accounting work. I spent 1 year there. My colleague used to be Aminu Saleh from Bauchi, who was the secretary to the government of Abacha. He was my mate in the middle school and also in the clerical and even the diploma course in Zaria. So we completed 55 to 56. After that, both of us returned back to our local government. You went to Katagul local government and I came to go to local government. I continue working, I think, for 1956 to 58. When I got admission as Inspector of Native Authority Treasuries. We were, I think, 12 or 13 employed by the Audit of Northern Nigeria. That was in 1958. We were posted, each one in each province, to be supervising the treasuries of the local government.
So you're in audit, you're an accountant by training.
Yes. We were there for I was posted to Niger. I stayed there, touring. Even I was appointed an executive officer and audit. I've been touring and all these things, covering Bida, Lapai, Agaye, Kwantagora, Zulu, and Abuja at that time. With Bida, did I mention Bida?
You did.
Yeah. So I was working there until 1960, when I saw an advertisement in the newspaper, Northern Nigerian newspaper, that somebody like me with this kind of qualification are required to be recruited into the administrative service training in Zaria. Because if you could remember, Eastern and Western Nigeria got their, they call it self-government.
Self-rule.
Self-rule. But Sardauna said no.
Yeah.
North was not prepared for that. And wherever you go in northern Nigeria, you will find that the clerks in the federal government offices were all either Igbos or Yorubas. So Sardauna said no, we are not ready to use. So that was why he instituted the Institute of Administration. And you know, he opened a school, medical school in Kano. He did a lot of things. And even in the Institute of Administration there, he started getting northerners as lawyers. You do 1 year there. We were in administration. When I saw the advertisement, I applied in 1960, and I got admission, where I spent 1 year. The training involved a lot of things. Yes.
Okay, so once the regional government, I think after Gawan took over, states were created, this 12-state structure. You now move to Maiduguri is it a farm sec or?
When Hassan Usman Katina and the permanent secretary Liman Chiroma, he was in charge of all the administrative officers. I was there when they went on tour to the division. So I asked them that it is high time that I moved out of this division, because a new local government was established. Elections were carried out, and I appealed to them. I said I should be moved out because certain things which I refused to execute in their own interest, now they are doing something against what I did the other time. So it is high time that I moved out from this place. So immediately they went back. Within 1 week, they sent letter of my transfer that I should go on leave for two months, and then report to Minister of Finance as Senior Assistant Secretary.
In Kaduna?
In Kaduna. So this is the end of my life with all this. And from there, we were in Kaduna for about a year when the states were created. Zones, northeast states were created. We were merged with Maiduguri, Adamawa, and Bonu. The three provinces were merged together. So we moved there. I went there as a secretary to Civil Service Commission. So what happened, I was Liman Chiroma was the late Liman Chiroma was the permanent secretary in charge of administrative officers. When we were in Kaduna, some people that we don't have enough administrative officers in the northeast. So he was, they have to take a number of people from other ministries, like information, like any other place. They took about 7 people from Borno, 8 from Adamawa, and no body was taken from Bauchi. So I went to the office of Liman Chiroma. I said, I came, sir, to see you. I've seen that some people were earmarked and recruited to transferred to be administrative officers from Bonu and Adamawa. But there was nobody from Bauchi province. I don't know the criteria being used, which Bauchi State failed to fulfill the conditions. Then he kept quiet. It took some minutes.
Yes.
He didn't say anything to me. I want to know the criteria used that avoided Bauchi to help somebody or some number of people from this. So he said, okay, I will check and I will get in touch with you later. I said, okay, thank you, sir. I went out. So when Northeast was created, when it was created, I was posted as secretary to the commission, Civil Service Commission, employment. Civil Service, I was secretary. I was of the rank of director at that time. So I believe that might be the reason he posted me to be the
to go and correct that problem, which you raised.
And after 3 months of our stay in Maiduguri, he directed that I should make recommendation of 6 people from Bauchi State. So, yes. So I went, I made selection. I gave Bauchi 2, I gave Misau 1, I gave Katamu 1, I gave Jama'ari 1. Making 6. Bauchi being a bigger division. So this is how I...
Did you become a permanent secretary?
Yes.
While you are still in Northeast, under the Northeast?
Exactly. I was there, and then I was sent to a selective course in public finance management in the University of Manchester. So I was there for 1 year. After my return, I was posted to the office of the governor. From there, after I think about a year or so, I was appointed acting permanent secretary. I got my promotion quite okay to a higher grade, but not full permanent secretary, acting. I was appointed as acting permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health. I spent a number of years there. And then after the change, where the change over, Murtala time, there was change and change of the governor. Buhari was posted to Maiduguri. Yes. So I was posted from Minister of, after I stayed for more than 3 years in the Ministry of Health, I was posted to Lenin Sabi. And Buhari was there. He was the governor. And he was made, he appointed somebody, a friend of him from Bauchi. They met, I think, in Pakistan. Yeah, he went for a certain training and they became friends. So he appointed him as a commissioner. But he was not able to be released in time. So Buhari was overseeing the ministry.
Of land and service.
Land and service. So when I collect files and other things, I will ring him. I'll go and sit with him and give him the file. If he has some question to make and all this. That is how we ran the ministry for about...
What was your impression of Buhari as a young officer then running a state? This was something he hasn't done before.
Well, I think it's out of my way to comment on that. Out of way to comment on that. Yes.
Do we move then to Bauchi State?
Bauchi State.
Because you were virtually permanent secretary in 4 or more ministries.
Yes.
And in Bauchi State, when
Bauchi
it was
State,
created.
Yes. When Bauchi State was created, I was posted as permanent secretary of education. I worked for, I think, a number of years, 2 or 3 years. I was moved to agriculture. And then finally to Ministry of Finance. I requested for retirement from the service.
1979?
79. in 1979. I wanted to retire, although it remained 2 years for me to go on compulsory retirement.
But why did you want to go so early?
No, because things are moving very fast. And you know, in our days, there was no stealing, except or any other thing. Yes. So we did not have anything in our hands at that time. Our salaries were in order, is enough for us.
Yes.
We were given advance to build a house.
Yes.
We were given advance to ride a car.
Yes.
Although at that time the salary of a permanent secretary was only 1,000.
1,000 naira.
1,000.
So you wanted to move so that you can go into the private sector.
Exactly.
Yes.
Remained 2 years to go for compulsory retirement.
So what did you do in the private sector? I think you did farming?
Farming. I was a sportsman, very active. I say I cannot just stay to be waiting for my pension, me paying my pension or something like that. So I went and I got one, and I forgot one expatriate a farmer, and that from, I forgot the name of the tribe, anyway from the Arab tribe. He was there around the Gongola Basin and all this. So I got him. We went round with him. With booths, I was able to, within my local government, Kirfi district at that time, we were able to select a farm. So on the paper, we forgot that the millimeter or something like that on the map is thousands of this thing. So we carved an area where there is water and all this and after working for 2 months to get certificate, I paid for everything. I got 8.9 hectares of land. 8.9 thousand.
89,000 hectares.
That's big. 8.9 indeed.
Yes.
Because we carved that in the area we want all this.
Yes.
So the Sabi people worked for 2 months trying to.
That's rather big.
Yes, it was too big. So I started.
So what did you do with it? Was it profitable for you?
Oh, very much. I started it, growing maize, and then that man brought seeds of kankana. That was in 1980, because I retired from the service in 1980. So I started with kankana. I brought kankana to the village in Bara. If you are going to go
yes,
there,
I know the place.
If you are going
the
to
Kankana town, yes, I've seen it
so
recently.
I brought kankana to.
It's still a very successful kankana growing area near the river.
Exactly. So I brought the kankana to them.
Okay.
To the people over there. And I continued. Even they used to come, one lady used to come from Lagos to buy it and put on the rail back to Lagos or something.
You
like
got the
that.
idea from the Middle Eastern guy?
No, I told you there is one, I forgot the tribe, one is working around Gombe.
Is he from the Middle East?
No.
Or it's a Nigerian?
No, it's from the
Syria?
Arabic.
Syria or Lebanon?
Not Syria.
Okay.
There is war now in that country.
Okay. Maybe Iraq?
Iraq,
okay.
Not Iraq.
Not Lebanon?
Not Lebanon. Just neighbors of Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia.
Yemen?
Yeah, not Yemen.
Okay.
And I forgot the
Okay.
place.
Okay.
Anyway.
Fair enough.
So that is, I have been working with him.
Yes.
He brought the seeds for me. And then I continued farming. And I borrowed money from the bank. 1.6 million. That is how I started farming.
Yes. That's a lot of money.
Yes, a lot
in those
of money.
days.
At that time when I started farming, a tractor, a small tractor like that, costing 25,000. With the equipments and trailer, all 25,000 naira. So I started farming, and then I continued. Actually, even now, I'm farming.
Yes.
There was a time, even I employed an expatriate to be an Indian. When I came to Lagos looking for job and all this thing, my friend, a soldier, connected me with a Yoruba person, very rich in business and all these things. So that man, he said, you know a lot of people, this man will help you to be rich. So we became friends. And I started, after farming, I got the manager for the farm, even exported in India, was running the farm. And then I started business.
So besides farming, you went into other businesses. Like what? Like what? Which other area? Which business?
Like selling cars.
Cars?
Yes. I went to the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And then he said, he was selling cars. He's also a contractor. So I even got some job for him from the Ministry of Defense. Amin Usale, who was my colleague, was the permanent secretary, so he was able to give us contract. So I gave that. That man was so happy, so happy with me. So he said I had to become director in his company and the other thing. So I got listened to import vehicles, 150, and all this. So we started with him. So he trusted me. We go to London to buy the thing, the contract through me. He got through me, and then we went to India even to employ workers. I went to install electricity for him. We went to India. We spent about 2 weeks or something like that. So he trusted me. He gave me a free flat. And even when I go to Lagos from Bauchi, I don't even stay in the flat. I will stay in the hotel. They will pay for how many days I stay over there. See, this is how I started. Did
you become a rich man through all these activities, farming, businesses?
Yes, I didn't be. I'm not a rich man. I'm not, but I don't agree to be rich. I'm a very kind man, and I know richness. I think will lead me to certain things that is forbidden by Almighty Allah. So I don't save money. I did what to assist others, to be frank. But people, if you are counting people who have money, people used to count me. But there used to be a time when I do not have 200,000 in my account. Yes.
But from your activities, yes, it looks like you are really into business in a big way.
Yes. Yes.
At what point were you appointed a minister? This in the government of Shagari.
That's right.
Were you a politician or they just picked you?
No, I became a sort of leader, as somebody with a lot of experience.
In Bauchi?
In Bauchi.
Community leader?
Community leader.
Some people will say godfather.
Godfather. I'm definitely godfather. Because they trust me, and when I speak, I don't lie. And I'm very generous in handling my affairs. I told you, I don't like to be rich, because later on, as I was telling you, the school I built, I'm trying what I am charging. At the end of the month, I have to look in that school. I have to look for 2 to 3 million to pay for salaries. Yes, because the fees cannot cover.
So the minister thing, when you are under Shagari's government as a community leader, suddenly you became Minister of State.
Yes.
How did that happen?
Yes, states, I worked for my people. They liked me because I told you that I'm generous. And I sympathize with somebody who is in difficulty.
With the poor?
With the poor, yes. So when Shagari said they should recommend Tatari Ali was our governor. I didn't support Tatari Ali as a governor. I support Abubakar Umar.
Who competed with him?
Yes, competed. Abubakar Umar is from Bauchi. Tatari Ali is from
Katago.
Is from Katago. But Tatari Ali recommended me as a minister. He said I should be
in spite of the fact that you didn't support him?
I didn't support him. He knew I didn't support me. He said he wanted me to be a commissioner.
In his government?
In his government. I said no, because I thought that because I worked against him. I said, no. He said, they insisted that I should be a commissioner. I said, even they can make me a commissioner of finance. I said, no, I will not. I want to go into business. I will move to Lagos. You see, that is how. So I got my brother to be a commissioner. So this is what had happened. And then when Tatari came for his second term, I was in Bauchi, up at the down level, Bauchi. So I became much stronger because coming to Lagos, I got something that I can use and all this. So I even did not, we said, okay, since Tatari has received, everybody has been treating us equal, like the Katamu people, and he has been doing some job in Bauchi and all this. We said nobody will come and fight against him. Yes.
So you support him for second term?
Second term, without any election. We supported him.
Unopposed?
Unopposed. This is what had happened. So he recommended me to be a minister of state. And then when I was appointed a minister, I was seconded, or rather, jot down to be Minister of State to Diko, you know.
Morudiko.
Morudiko.
That's in transport.
In transport, to be his Minister of State. But everything was arranged. The list was typed. It was going to the press. Then somebody told him that I'm a very difficult person. Yes, you will not enjoy watching with me. So it was penciled and cancelled my name. They posted me to Foreign Affairs. Foreign Affairs. And then the person in the Foreign Affairs, they brought him to Morudiko. And they were right to tell him Morudiko because there were things were being done. At that time, I would not be a part of this kind of things. Yes. When I went there, I said, why there should be 3 ministers in this one ministry? As you know, I think there are a lot of problems and other things, economy, and that Nigeria wants to have a number of offices in a number of places, a number of countries.
Yes.
So when I went there, I saw the improportion of the either ambassadors or rather even foreign service workers. At that time, Northern Nigeria had 9 states. Northern Nigeria. Delton is my colleague.
Yes.
As Minister of State.
Yes.
And then when I stayed for about 2 weeks, another thing, I saw the situation of imbalance in the service. As you know, the states, especially Lagos, has the largest number of foreign service officers. Yes. Followed by Delta.
Delta.
And then another state in
Edo and places.
the
Yes.
The North had 9 states at that time, and the number of foreign service officers in Delta is more than the number of foreign service in the 9 northern states
Combined.
So
did that enable you to correct the imbalance?
To reduce. I reduced. Yes.
What did you do specifically?
What I did was that I showed my boss, this is the position. And then there were very senior directors who had been in the service for not less than 20 years. Yes. In the service, 2 of them. I called them, I said, look at the position we find ourselves. Is it fair? The Constitution of Nigeria says that we should not employ people from one area higher than all the other places. I said, is it right? I showed them. So I told them that I will make an effort to reduce the imbalance.
And did you succeed?
I succeeded. At a time, I employed about 40. Yes. There.
From the north?
From the north, yes. It only reduced the imbalance. North is very wide and all this.
Let me take you to the period you are also minister a second time, this under Obasanjo.
Yes.
It didn't seem to have worked very well because you resigned after a year. Why?
Yes, Obasanjo, you know, he doesn't like North. All what he is doing doesn't like North. I worked with him for 2 months. Every week, we shall have some contract, selective contract and contract. Selective contract.
What do you mean selective?
Selective, that is no tender.
So the contract is given out.
They will list about 6 contractors and then take one to do the work. So I challenged. After 2 months, there had not been any contracts in the north awarded by the federal government. And I spoke during executive council meeting. I said, we have been here for 2 months. All the time, the contracts are going to the southern part of the country. Nothing in the northern part of the country. So we are also equal.
How did he react?
Appealing.
How did he react to that?
I'm appealing to Mr. President that he should be considering some projects, especially road projects, to the northern part of the country. I did that. And I succeeded to a reasonable standard. I think that's what I can only tell you about this.
So why did you quit?
Why
did you leave so quickly?
No, I didn't leave. 3 months after that, I went to him to submit my letter of resignation. 3 months. Yes.
Why?
I told him my reasons. I need not tell you why I wanted.
But you are dissatisfied with his government.
Dissatisfied with the government and with the way things were going. So he said no, it is not good for him or people to hear that after 3 months a minister was resigning. Then he spoke to Adamu Chuloma was our leader from the north, as you know. Yes, yes. He rang him when I was sitting down. One of my complaints is that about 10 of us ministers, we were in the hotel for 3 months or something like that. And there are some vacant houses. They were not allocated houses. I was sitting with him when he rang the minister of FCT. At that time it was Bunu.
Sharif.
Ibrahim Bunu.
Ibrahim Bunu.
Ibrahim
That's
Bunu.
true.
He rang, he said, there is a minister who threatened to resign. Try and allocate a house between today and tomorrow to him. I was given an additional car. I was
So the house was given to you?
Yes.
Yes.
The house was given to me. I was given 2 houses to choose. And then I was in a temporary office. I was the first minister to move into the new secretariat. They gave me a new office and all this.
But still you left. You left within a year.
Within a year, when he was reshuffling his cabinet, he said, are you still going? I said, yes, I'm going. But after speaking to Adamu Chuloma and other people, I continued to work until when he called me. He said, are you still going? Oh, I said, yes, I'm going. So he said, okay, go and meet the governor so they discuss who is to take over from you.
Since you left government, you have been back in Bauchi. Of course, as a community leader, some will say as a godfather. You seem to have huge influence in Bauchi politics.
Yes.
And actually, you contributed to the governor, the current governor being selected.
Very much.
How did that happen?
Well, because the governor at that time had not been serving us very well. You might have heard, finally, after his 4-year period, he didn't complete a single project in Bauchi. and there was money. I think I have a copy. I didn't know that you would ask me this question. I would have brought you a copy of the letter. I have a copy of the letter here, where I got committee of 9 people with me as chairman. We made ourselves advisory committee.
To who?
Well, advisory committee.
To the former governor?
To the former governor, against the former governor.
Oh, against him?
Against former governor. So we have, 3 senators in each state. So I selected three people from western part, central and southern part. I was the chairman of that committee. I selected highly responsible people, 3 of them. So we started working, started to write letter against the governor. In writing what he had been ignoring. He had got 800 million, he had 700 million and all this, but nothing was going on in Bauchi. I wrote a letter, yes. The committee, we said to this one, if you like, after our meeting, I should show you a copy of the letter.
Yeah. Are you happy with the work of the current governor?
Very much, very much. When he started, probably you have been to Bauchi sometime before this time now.
I was there 2 days ago.
How did you see the population of Bauchi?
I can't say. It seems bustling. There are lots of people around.
And a number of roads inside.
Yes.
Yes. So many roads. Third, he completed the job within his period of 2 years. He started. There were some jobs which that man started. He completed that job and all this. So that is why Bauchi people have been saying that they like him to continue. Yes.
But he seems to want to be president rather than
they told him that
settle on that job.
Well, he likes. That is his own wish. Wishes, his own wishes. He likes.
But what do you want him to do?
He said we would discuss with him. But he had been avoiding me. I wanted to tell him the truth.
Which is what?
I wouldn't tell you.
Let me also raise the issue which many people know, the problem you had with the Emir a few years ago, which led to your suspension as the Waziri, which is of course the Prime Minister. What happened and how was that resolved?
Well, you are asking me a very difficult question. You have heard what had happened between me and my son, that is the Emir. His father brought me as Waziri. I never thought or wanted to be a Waziri because, as I told you, I like business. I have responsibility of taking care of my family. My father was alive at that time. So he called to tell me that his father, that he wanted me to be a Waziri. When he said that, I said, I kept quiet. I didn't thank him. As a friend, we were all born 1933.
With the former Emir?
Former Emir.
Yes.
He was a friend of mine.
Yes.
We were in almost the same area.
Yes.
With him.
Yes.
We were friends.
Yes.
So he wanted me to be his Waziri. I didn't answer him because I was confused and then worried. How could I take care of my old father's house? The number of those who are feeding themselves in my father's house are 2 times or 3 times than my own house. I'm taking care of that. He said, why? I appointed you in a very good position. You didn't thank me. Why? Then I explained to him my reason was so and so and so and so. The salary of Waziri cannot be enough even for my Abimia. Yes. And then I told him my reason and other thing. He said, he kept quiet. He said, yes. I said, secondly, I cannot leave politics because I have suffered for it. Because I'm one of those who created the PDP. We worked for it. And I was the one who was given the warrant to establish PTP, or to sell PDP to people in Bauchi State, like what was done to a number of people after we completed the meetings here in Abuja. We spent a number of days. Sometimes even we don't sleep. Yes. So he said, he kept quiet. He said, okay, you are correct. I said, I have very big responsibilities, which was there is salary also will not take care of me. Therefore, I'm not in a position to accept this. He said, why can't you do it part-time? Part-time, no salary. And even now, we have somebody who is a politician, was even chairman of the party in Bauchi, member of the Emirate Council. Why can't you do it part-time? I said, if you can allow me part-time without salary, there may be allowance or sitting allowance or something like that. There may be, but that one doesn't bother me. At that time, I was very wealthy, unlike even now. So he said, I said, if you agree, you'll appoint me on temporary basis. I will do it. He said, yes, I will allow it. If there is any difficult issue, when you go to Lagos, when you come back, we can summon a meeting to discuss and then take the decision on it. I said, if you can allow me as part-time without salary, I will accept. So this is what happened. So after that, his son is
the current Emir.
The current Emir. Yes.
So what happened between you? Why this disagreement?
Well, this is a family affairs between me and him. And when he suspended me, newspapers and other things, nobody will tell you that I have accused him or I have said anything, because I should not quarrel with my son. He's a very young, tiny somebody. Yes.
But it was resolved with the intervention of the governor?
No, intervention of a number of people. Even Atiku, when he had it, I think 2 days, he went even before, I mean, within 2 days also, he went and see the Emir. So many people spoke to the Emir about it. But I personally, I refused. Therefore, what brought all this thing, I think it's not something that I can tell to the public. I didn't say anything to anybody over it. For the whole period, I have stayed on suspension. Now, willingly, I think I know. I wouldn't say it even. No need. I wouldn't talk anything about the governor, the former governor. Yes.
But are you happy to be back to your position now? Are you happy to be back to your position?
I'm happy. Even nobody stopped calling me Waziri. Even when I was under suspension, when I went to greet the Emir for either death of members of the family or anything of that nature, you say, Baba Waziri.
That's what you call you?
That's what you call me. Throughout the period, he called me. And so it's not something that I will discuss.
So how is your family life? I mean, how is family life for you?
My family life.
You have a large family?
Nice, very nice family. I have 18, I was having 19 children. 9 boys, 9 girls. Yes. And all the women are married with a number of children. I can show you.
I've seen the picture of all the grandchildren.
That was half of my grandchildren. They are half of my grandchildren. And I gave my children, including the lady who just went out here. She is married. She was a director. She is retired. Their house is just offered to me over there. When I was selling these houses, some people came and priced it 300 million. I was shaking. to sell.
Yes.
She came to say, Baba, don't sell this and that amount in this area. It's an expensive area.
True.
Yeah?
This is a Sokoro.
Yes.
Also Drive.
That's what right. He said, Baba, don't sell it. So when we agreed over the amount, we just, over 400 million. That was the time when I slept, praying to Almighty God. He made me rich. Over 400 million. I sold the part of this. And then within a few months, they built these houses. And I went home, I built the school over there.
So you are 90 years old almost.
No, 89.
89, yes. But you still look good. You are here in Abuja, you travel around the country. What do you do to keep healthy? What do you do to keep fit?
Well, number one, my father died over 100 years. And I take care of myself. When we were with the British, we were part of British Commonwealth, isn't it? In those days, when we were young, we always go to London to take care of ourselves. And that had become my attitude. Every 6 months, I will be in London to carry out this. And then when we open eyes with the Saudi Arabia and all this, in Cairo, I was even saying that if I can get money, I can buy a flat in Cairo to go and be same with my family over there. Even now, two of my wives, they are my wives. I have two. They are in Cairo, receiving treatment in Cairo. So I don't play with my body. I take care of myself and all this. If you see me, as if I'm 100%, I'm well. From bottom of my stomach to here, I'm very well. But I'm suffering from my feet.
The legs.
I say, the Almighty cannot leave me like this.
No, not at 90. Is there anything you eat? I mean, you do.
Yes.
Do you take care of food?
Take care
Some
of
things you
myself.
don't
I
eat.
take vegetables, and even I don't even eat meat now. Only I take fish. Sometimes I take chicken feed. I take care of myself very well. Yes. So that is how you see me.
What of exercise?
Exercise, I do it. Previously, that is why I have a house in Kaduna. If I go to Kaduna, I will go out like in Bauchi until when the time of kidnappers came that I stopped. Every morning I go out in my house with one of my wife who had an operation around and all this. And then when the kidnapping started, I had to stop. But I used to do it in my house. I have, even when I got the field, I had to ask the land and survey to divide the plots. So I had a garden behind. So I have very good house and this thing. I cemented the house all around. So in the morning, I carry out my exercise. And now I am reasonably happy.
Thank you, sir.
And
thank you.
As I was telling you, I'm happy with my children. They have received very good training. And some of them have got very good job. As I was telling you, my third child was the Attorney General in Bauchi. The 8th child of me is Air Commodore now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And my children started helping me now.
Alhamdulillah.
In all my problems. I'm happy with them. And all what I do for them now is to continue praying for them.
I also pray for you for long life and health and service to our country.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And viewers, I hope you enjoyed this episode with Alhaji Bello Kirfi, who is the Wazir in Bauchi, elder statesman, and as you have heard, who has seen life from the colonial days to the present, and he's still going strong. Until we meet in another edition of Reminiscences, goodbye.